Yeah, this is, hey guys, it's Much Buzz right now.
And Accent Gamer here, and we're going to be talking to you guys about a little something at school, about generic people at school. And you guys probably have generic people at your schools. Every school has a generic person. What is a generic person? A generic person is a person, they will mostly be classified as the popular people who would be hanging around all the other popular boys and girls at school. A generic person acts like, okay, one of the symptoms, first of all, they're on Facebook all day, 8 hours a day. Second, they may or may not play Call of Duty for 8 hours a day. Also, they play Street Fighter for like 10 hours.
What? That's a generic person?
Yes.
What? How is playing Street Fighter 10 hours isn't that more like a nerd?
Kinda, I mean, but see, it's not just that. They don't just do that. They're going to be the person who's, it's not just that. They're also going to be something else. They're going to be on Facebook also. It's not just that alone.
Well, when I think of a generic person, I'm thinking more like a person like a guy when he's with a girl, and, he's just talking about, oh man, I worked out in the gym a lot, oh, look at these muscles, damn! And then they're like, hey baby, you like two guys in the bathroom, right?
Oh yeah.
You like that, right? Yeah.
That's definitely one.
Yeah, I see guys like that talking to girls all the time. They're like, hey girl, you want to go to the restroom and, suck some dick or something? They talk like that. I don't know. Something like that.
Yes, and a generic girl, if you want to know what a generic girl is, the generic girl, okay, as you know, most girls, the average girl today has a Facebook. The more girls in the world has a Facebook more than a guy does. Okay, the girl would be like, she will always be talking about my boyfriend this, my boyfriend that. She's gonna be talking about random stuff, and you might not even be able, if you're a non-generic person, you might not even be able to actually follow up on what she's saying. That's how you know.
Yeah, I mean, how are you supposed to follow up when somebody says, oh my god, this boy commented on my picture saying I'm ugly. How are you supposed to respond to that?
Oh, do you think I'm ugly? Like, no, I don't.
I mean, or are you supposed to say, no, baby, you're not ugly? I mean, no, you're not ugly, you're just fat. What are you supposed to say to that?
Like, yeah. Like, the girl, like, they might say something stupid, like, they might talk about, like, how their boyfriend was when they went to the movies. And they might start asking you stuff, like, weird stuff.
But, the number one thing that really distinguishes non-generic people with generic people is a generic people will always put someone down. Like, whenever you're doing something a little bit different than a generic person, they'll always put you down. Like, if you're, I don't know, drawing some art or something, and you're drawing a bunch of comic book art, they'll be like, nerd! And they'll just be like, get that shit away from us.
Yeah, a generic person does not, they don't quarrel, they don't speak with non-generic people. They're like, non-generic people to a generic person is like trash. Like, if you're not us, then just get away. It's a generic person.
Well, I consider myself more of a non-generic person because, let's face it, I mean, when I was talking to normal people, I find normal conversation kind of boring, Yeah. And with a person, what am I trying to say? Like, a non-generic person, they just don't have the same mentality that generic person has. Generic
people, like, say me and you, actually, we talk about psychology, some nice things. We talk about stuff that actually, like, might matter, like eye contact in the video, other neat gadgets like that. A generic person talks about, I went to the movies yesterday with my friends and we did this. Like, every day they go to the movies. They just go to the movies. They don't really talk about anything that like really matters, like life and stuff. They just talk movies. The mall is like everything to them. Blah 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 mall.
Hey, you know what? I actually used to be a generic person too. I love the mall. Like, I wasn't exactly a generic. I had qualities of a generic person. I think all of us, we have generic qualities and non-generic qualities. All of us.
Yes. We have the ability to be generic, but I just can't be generic. That's not part of me.
You know, some of us were more deviant than others. Like some of us, we have our generic qualities, but we suppress it more. And generic people just happen to suppress their non-generic qualities more. Like they have it. Sometimes they do weird stuff too. They do weird crap. Like you know, that generic football player on this high school football team, he could be a freaking otaku. You know, he might be a secret otaku on the side, but he won't show his friends.
Yeah.
So, you know, you may think a person's a generic person when you meet him, but they might actually have some non-generic traits. They might be a complete otaku and be watching that hentai crap and, you know, be jacking off to 2D girls or something, you know?
Yeah, and there's some people who are both generic. They can converse with a generic person and non-generic person. I'm not one of those people. I can't talk to a generic person. They won't be interested in me.
Oh.
But there's some people who can actually talk with both of them. And I classify those as, like, I don't know, mixed people, or I don't know. I don't have those traits, though.
Yeah, those are the hybrid people. They're usually the highly successful people, you know, because, you know, hybrids, they can communicate with the generic and the non-generic. You know, they just have the best of both worlds, basically.
Yes.
Sort of like, you know, a person who's not just all muscle and not just all endurance. They have the best of both worlds, strength and endurance. Sort of like that.
Definitely. So, like...
Okay, I don't know if we're beating a dead horse. Do we have anything else about generic people?
I don't know, I think that's it.
Alright. Stay tuned for more Mod the Bod, guys.
Yeah, but we will upload a video pretty soon to you guys. Alright, so please stay tuned.